the show that has the best traction on my channel.
Mhm.
Got it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Couch Tomatoes. We've got a lot of movies to talk about. It's been like 2.5 weeks since the last
Yes.
time we adjourned the meeting of the Crappy
I
Cinema
I
Society.
apologize. Last week
All
I
his
just
fucking fault.
completely forgot, and
Entirely his fault.
yeah, I was
Entirely.
just like zoned out at the time. Like, oh, I can't even talk about movies right now. Like,
All right.
I couldn't.
Talk some
So
general stuff while I do the next tweet here.
okay, movies are good, and
Ooh.
I like to watch them.
Fuck's sakes. What is wrong? Did you eat paint chips?
Now,
Okay,
I've been watching a lot of Red Dwarf lately. I just finished up the seventh season. They're actually really quick to get through because there are only like 6 episodes per season, except for season 7, which was 8 episodes. I can't remember if the eighth season is also 8 episodes, but yeah. Um, Anyways, we watched a lot of movies.
oh yeah.
We have so much to talk about. We're going to be talking about Fear Street 1 through 3 eventually.
At
We're
the
going to be
end,
talking
for sure.
We're going to be talking about some Billy Wilder. We're going to be talking about Alien Resurrection, the one of the most shat upon alien movies, perhaps
Oh,
unfairly,
I
unjustly.
cannot believe we're gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna give a good review. Like, spoiler. Like, what the fuck? I was so adamant that movie sucked, and now I'm like,
we're
I don't
gonna
know.
we're gonna talk about Tread, a documentary about a man who goes nutso. Uh, he
Not
just
so. That's not.
snaps,
I don't think
basically,
it's.
and
Yeah,
that's
he loses his.
he snaps. He
Look. Some people
snaps.
drive him over the edge, an edge he wasn't too far from. Clearly,
Yeah, and
just reality
well,
of
we'll get
things.
into it later. We'll get into it when we talk about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. All
yeah.
right. Welcome everybody.
What are some of the
I
other
I did
movies
the
that
I
we're
did the
talking about
tweet.
today?
I did the tweet. Okay, we're ready to go. So
What are some of the other movies we're talking about today?
we're also gonna talk about the 7 Year Itch,
Oh
the
yeah, Billy Wilder. Yes,
Friends
I
of Eddie
mentioned that.
Coyle,
Friends of Eddie Coyle.
and Willy's Wonderland.
Ah, yes.
So
That one was an interesting one. Yeah.
you know what's funny? I expected to like it more.
Yeah, because it
Let's
sounds
just
like
get into Will.
such
We don't
an
have to go any order. Let's just
yeah.
talk about Willy's Wonderland. What are your thoughts about Willy Wonderland? Giving, I mean,
When you
you know,
when you hear that Nicolas Cage is starring in a movie that is basically Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a concept that I personally thought was pretty interesting, pretty fun at the very least, and of course nostalgic in that it reminds me of the Chuck E. Cheese's that I would go to as a kid and whatnot. And you see the poster and you see the trailer, you're like, oh, this is gonna be so good, and you're thinking it's gonna be great, but it's like it's good.
certainly not bad.
It's
I
just
I enjoyed it. It just
I want to say a little vacuous, and there's nothing wrong with the movie
vacuous.
being.
Wow,
There's nothing wrong
interesting.
with it being vacuous, because obviously we watch a lot of somewhat trashy movies, and I don't have a problem with
A
them.
lot
And
of them are pretty quote
spoiler
unquote
alert,
vacuous, as you say.
I would give Willy's Wonderland a good rating as well, probably like 7 out of 10.
Absolute.
But
Oh, absolutely. I think I gave it that. In fact, I can go
but
look.
like there's just
I
not
gave it
much
7 out of 10.
substance there. There's
I
just not much substance, and
don't know if I'm gonna watch it again.
yeah, the characters aren't very interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I
Um,
will.
One of the more interesting things that I found about it was
I think I'm
watching Nicolas
caught up on
Cage,
that. Okay.
noting that he doesn't actually say anything throughout the movie. He doesn't have any
Yeah, he has no
lines
lines.
at all.
We actually at the very
And,
beginning said, "Wouldn't it be great if we never talked at all in this movie?" And then boom, it just happened.
Mhm.
And then we're every now and then we'd be like, "This is where he starts talking. This is where he's gonna say something." Nothing. Never came. It's good. Spoiler.
But
Sorry. That was like the best
The
part of
only
the movie
like
is that he's such a
interesting,
good actor that he's carrying this movie without a
yeah.
word.
The only interesting reading that I had while we were watching it was like I was noting how some of the movements he was making were very robotic. I was
Yes,
noting how
the way he
uh,
drank the drink.
every time it was break time, he would immediately stop whatever the
Mm-hmm.
fuck he was doing and just
No matter what,
go
fighting a monster
drink
doesn't matter.
drink one of
Walks
his
away.
drinks.
He literally He literally in the middle of fighting, trying to save someone, stops, hands them the knife, and goes and takes his break. Like it's like a total robot thing. It's weird.
Yes. And while all the other people in the movie who encounter the robots um, have a lot of trouble facing off against them, Nicolas Cage,
Never.
in superhuman like feat, never has any problem with them. So he doesn't talk. He moves and acts like a robot. He's as strong as the robots. It's like, is Nicolas Cage's character supposed to be a robot?
Trivia
Is
didn't
that
say,
what
so
we're
I couldn't
supposed to
say.
be getting at? Yeah, and it doesn't have to tell you.
No, of
That's
course not.
the movie doesn't have to tell you anything.
I
Right?
like that reading though.
Sometimes the point is to make you question
He
if
might be an
that's what's
alien
going
or
on.
something too. Like there's a lot of things.
True, true.
Here's what I said.
Well,
I
why
said
even alien? That'd be a really interesting
this is a
angle.
sequel. This is a sequel to Drive Angry. It's the same character. He's
Yeah.
murdered a whole bunch of people, escaped from hell twice. I'm just tired of talking to people. Just fucking tired. Wants his car fixed so he can leave.
Yep. I mean that does sound like it could be the case. Although now I really like the alien angle. Now I really want that to be the case. And they do a sequel, and the sequel is all about the alien race that, for some reason, is coming down to stop evil on Earth.
It just so happens
And
he's at another Willy's Wonderland when it happens. That's how it works. That's what you do. Like, I said I wouldn't watch again, but you know what? Actually, if it's like $8, I'd probably buy it on Blu-ray.
you
And then
gotta,
probably
they
watch
gotta
it.
take it like in the phantasm direction, though.
Yeah.
Just completely off the tracks.
Fuck your
Boom.
rails. We're going where we're going. We don't need rails.
Yes. I would say some of the acting was fairly stilted. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it was very.
Yes, the supporting cast I would say is not impressive. They're not terrible. They're serviceable. That would be what I'd describe.
Yeah.
Serviceable. Nobody here's gonna impress you, but no one was offensively bad or anything.
Yeah, they did the job.
Yeah.
They get the job done.
Exactly. All right.
I am glad I did not pay, like, what was it, 20 something bucks when it first came out to stream. And
Right.
I just watched it on Hulu. We just watched it on Hulu. So
yeah,
it's
I mean,
on Hulu, guys.
it's on
You can watch
Hulu.
it on Hulu.
Exactly. Let's see here. I have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
My tiny bladder and my meds.
I will talk about Bill and Ted Face the Music while Skill Slip is away. Because that's another movie that just got added to Hulu, and I hadn't watched it yet. I hadn't seen it yet. I'm a big Bill and Ted fan. I wasn't a huge fan for the longest time. I remember watching it when I was a kid, but I didn't really become a fan of the movies until I became a little bit more nostalgic for them in my later years, in my mid 20s or so. Later years, mid 20s. But anyways, when I saw Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in a postmodern film class, I shit you not, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was taught in a film class. Yes, it was, because it's a postmodern film. And as I was watching it and seeing all like the postmodern takes in the film and how it fits in that subgenre, if you will. Again, it's not really a subgenre, it's a movement, it's an artistic movement, right? But as I was watching it and seeing how it fit in that movement, I realized, holy shit, this actually is good. A lot of people act like it's a trashy, crappy movie, but there's actual substance here, surprisingly. I don't know. Um, so I was excited to see that they were bringing back Bill and Ted Face the Music. Um, and watching it, I realized, it's not the best movie ever. It's definitely not like, to me at least, uh, on par with either the first two movies, but it is okay. It's like a 7 out of 10 or so, I would say. It is a pretty good movie. I'm glad to see Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves back again. Um, and the only problem I had was that Keanu Reeves has been so far removed from that kind of role that he just, number one, it seems like he doesn't know how to play that kind of role anymore because he's become an action sci-fi star for like the last 20 plus years. So asking him to go back to the kind of roles he played 30 years ago and just immediately be fantastic at it is pretty much impossible, I would say. But at the same time, I also think part of it is just that
Whew.
I'm talking about Bill and Ted Face the Music and Keanu Reeves in the movie in
Oh,
particular.
okay.
And
Did
I was
did you?
talking about, hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was talking about how it feels to me like he isn't quite as capable of playing that kind of role anymore because he's been doing action and science fiction. But I also think for like 20 plus years, we've been doing action and science fiction. But I also think that part of it is just that having the audience, us, having seen him in action and science fiction and little else for 20 plus years, uh, doesn't recognize him as much in that character or in that
Christ.
kind of role anymore.
Michael's just
So,
spamming the chat over here.
so I wonder to myself if that's the kind of thing that would happen with Tom Hanks, where like Tom Hanks hasn't done a comedy role in years. He used to be such a fantastic comedian, a
Oh,
great person in that kind of
I think
role.
some of the timing sticks with you. It's like, it's like, I feel like Tom Hanks is a very funny person, like naturally funny person. So like, I
Yes.
feel like he will, if he put in a comedy tomorrow, he would be at least passable at the very worst because he's Tom Hanks. You know, he's an amazing actor. But
Yeah.
yeah, he hasn't been in a comedy in a very long time. I wish he'd do another comedy.
I loved, I know we're getting back to the robots here, but I love the robot movie. What's his name? Doug or Caleb? Or Caleb. Caleb, I think that's his name. That guy was perfect. The perfect addition to the Bill and Ted universe, as it
Did,
were.
did you feel like the girls had a whole plot line cut out? They just kind of showed up at like three different random parts, but like it feels like they had a whole storyline of their own because they go on their own trip. If you pay attention at the very beginning of the movie, they go on their own
Of
trip through
course.
time, and we never see any of that trip. But they keep coming back to us like they've had their trip. So now I'm like, where's that footage? Was that filmed? Was that cut out
Oh,
early?
that yeah.
And if
I don't
not, can I
know.
get a
I
fucking
would like to
movie?
see that cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because ultimately the movie ends up being about them more or less,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if that footage exists, why would you cut that out when the movie is
Um,
about them?
'Cause it feels like I bet you because it feels disjointed. It feels like
To be fair, also though,
here's
I
why.
think it.
Okay, look, the movie's called Bill and Ted. I feel like they probably cut them out because their story's less important than Bill and Ted's story since they're the title characters. But I would really love to see that footage. If it exists. It may have been cut out early in the process too, before they ever filmed it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I also
extended
think
cut, please.
it does possibly say something about the characters and about the story itself, and it transitioning to being a story about them. Like, I mean, the movie very much is a story about
It's
millennials.
about their daughters. To be fair.
Well, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, it's about like, when you cut away all the other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it is about kind of the whole millennials versus boomers versus zoomers and the whole generational gaps that exist and trying to
Yeah.
bring them all together, so to speak.
I mean, I
And
get it. Eh.
And you know, uh, in a certain way, it's like them trying to accomplish something is the millennials trying to accomplish something with their lives in a world where it's pretty fucking difficult to do that, almost impossible, seems fucking hopeless. Just like their goal to try and find the fucking song is fairly
They
hopeless
can't find the song because they
in the
haven't
future.
created it because they had to create the
Yes,
song to begin with. It's like a they
yes,
think, oh, we'll go. Their whole plot is to go to the future and steal the song and come back, but like you never made it. You're sitting here on you're in a different timeline now. You know,
and the message is like you need to stop focusing on yourself and getting and doing what you need to do or what you think you need to do, what you think your destiny
right,
is,
right.
and realize that your destiny lies in the future, but the future is your daughter's, and
Now, because
yeah, exactly. Your future already exists in the current timeline, and you can support it right now without using a time machine.
right.
I think is the
I I
message behind
I
that
think
movie.
it's a I look. I think it's a really good end piece to a trilogy. That
Hmm.
didn't need a trilogy, didn't need an end piece, but I'm glad it does have one, and I feel like it fits thematically perfectly with those other two movies, even if it's 20, even though it's like
Oh yeah,
25 years later. Like I don't feel like at any point the movie betrays the original characters at all, which to me is the most important part of a sequel or an adaptation, right, or a remake. And
I
this is
don't think it's as
basically a
good as
re.
the first two, but it's good.
I
I
want to
love it.
see another movie with the daughters now, because I really liked the way they
Well,
interacted and
yeah,
talked,
we've finished the Bill and Ted story. It's time to hear their story.
and then I want
You know?
them to fall in love, and it can be a gay movie, and we can just take Bill and Ted from the straights too.
I'm trying to decide if that's in any way incestual. I don't think it is,
No,
but
they're not related.
yeah,
I mean,
but they're so close.
they both had the same mom at some point, but that mom married into both families, so. Which I like that they continue with
That's
that
why I'm
gag, by
trying
the
to
way.
decide if that would
It's
be
not. It's not
incestual.
really, because that mother didn't give birth to anybody involved here. It's just.
Uh,
It's funny. Of course they gave them daughters. Woke fest people. Yeah, well, people worrying about about people being woke are just dinosaurs waiting to die, so.
yeah.
Actually, exactly. I know some people
People
feel
don't
it being
exist.
sort of twist at the Donner and the battle belittles their importance in the first two films. No, they have they had their day in the sun in the first two films. This wasn't about
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
This movie is about family and supporting family. Like, what are they gonna do? Support the? Oh yeah, support family. But also, you stay here. We'll take care of the end. No, of course not. You know, like,
Also, let us have our glory, our
they,
moment of glory in
bro,
this patriarchal society where we are the kings.
right? Like, bro, like. Anyone complain about that? I have no words for you. Have fun with life, I guess. I can't. I'm not here to like convince you that you're wrong. Just know that you're
Like
wrong.
these are people who believe firmly that the world is theirs and we're just living in it. So
Right.
that if that's your take, then
Don't
live
forget.
that life.
All right, we
We
need to get out
can't
the
stop you.
politics. We gotta move on.
Yeah.
Did you have? All right, we wanted to talk about Alien Resurrection, a movie you did not expect to
I
like, because I hated this. I saw this in theaters and I hated it. I thought it was terrible. Of course, I was a completely different film watcher. I was less mature, obviously, because I was, I think, 16 or 17 when it came out, and so like as a film watcher, I've matured greatly. As a human, I have matured immensely. And looking at this film, I can way more respect what the director, whose name's blanking on because I have to open this thing up, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, whose name I probably butchered. He did Amelie and An Engagement to Remember. Is that right? No, Very Long Engagement. And Delicatessen and City of Lost Children. Those are the... Anyway, very notable visual artist doing this film. I did note that there were some issues, like the alien at the end was censored by the studio. It was supposed to have both male and female sex organs. Okay, so this movie is incredibly trans to begin with, or
yeah.
intersex in that case. But this
Which is
movie,
interesting, right?
Winona Ryder's character's Call, and Anna Lee Call, which I love her name, by the way. She is one of the main characters of this movie, and she is, I think, unintentionally a trans character. Like, I don't think he intended to write her in that way. I think it resonates because that's something that happens to trans people. I think, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because, like,
Definitely,
Spider.
like,
Okay, look, I'm gonna give you spoilers. 1997. All
definitely
right.
not straight, I would say.
I would
Right?
say this character's an android, and
Not cis, I should say.
okay, it's this character's an android, and there's a scene where she's cornered and forcibly outed as an android, which is very jarring and very striking and rings very true to a lot of trans people and their experiences. So it's very interesting that while I don't know this is intentionally trans, it is definitely trans as fuck. Okay?
Yes, right.
It's trans as
It's
fuck.
like whether it was intended to be that way or not, it
Yes.
speaks.
We
and I'm
claimed
sure
it.
it would speak to
We,
people.
we claimed it with that
Yeah.
scene. That's it. It's now a trans movie. That character's trans. Transhuman, but trans nonetheless.
And like I was saying when we were watching the movie, even to a certain degree, Ripley is kind of a trans character as well because she is part alien and she is part human.
But she's part queen and part lady.
And-
She's just two different ladies. I don't know. There is, I think that's more like a. I feel like that's more a commentary than cloning because, like Jurassic Park, you know, like imperfect
Yeah.
DNA. I think that's kind of like that. I think that was really what that real boiled down to is that they jumped into the lava at the end of 3. Spoiler alert! Sorry. And in that process, their DNA were inexorably mixed. You know. It wasn't lava. It was molten metal, but whatever. So like, I feel like that's more like a. I don't know. I don't feel like that's trans. I'm gonna be honest with you. Someone could correct me. Like another trans person can then go, well, here's how it's trans, and I go, oh, I don't know. I don't think that part is trans necessarily.
Well, that line that sticks out to me is when she's talking to that guy. In fact, it might have been Brad Dourif's character.
I love his fucking sniveling shithead character.
I can't remember if it was him or the other guy, but
fucking weasel, yeah.
The weasel guy, yeah.
That guy's a weasel.
But
Fuck.
early on in the movie, they have her in a cell, right? And she's talking to them about the aliens, and they're talking about what their plans are with the aliens, and she says, "You think you think you're just going to train these things? You're going to teach them to behave the way you want them to?" And the guy responds, "Why not? We trained you. We taught you." Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that to me, I don't know. I saw that and I read into it quite a bit, probably, but I read into it the way that, like, because this movie does have a lot of like trans imagery and whatnot, and not cis imagery, I would say.
Yeah, it's very gay in a lot of ways too.
Yes. Because of that, I saw that and I read it
in this.
I read it as like because I was trying to read it from a LGBTQ plus IA plus.
Damn, you nailed it.
Yay, I did it. From that perspective, I was trying to watch it from that perspective because I saw some things in it that made me think it might be something up that alley, right? Or there might be something to that. And when I heard that line, it made me think maybe they're talking about how gender is taught. You know, how gender is something that you can teach to somebody. How it is a social construct. How it is, you know, it's not set in stone. It's not determined by your genitalia or how you're born.
Precisely. But I mean, I don't read that as that. I feel like it's more of a commentary on genetic modification or perhaps transhumanism coming up. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, maybe someone has a perspective that will change my mind. I'm open to that.
Well, I just give them that example to show.
It's not a bad example. And once again, there's evidence in the text that suggests, at least, that you have a point. So, like, it's not really wrong. I just don't necessarily see it that way. The scene in the Queen Hive chewing the scenery in the best way. You beautiful butterfly. You beautiful, beautiful
Oh
baby.
God,
I
Brad
love
Dourif.
Dorif. Oh my god, he's amazing.
You are a beautiful, beautiful butterfly.
I love
Brad
him so
Dourif
much.
is so he's good in everything he does, but
He's
he's
so good in everything
obviously
he
good.
does. Like, so good.
Um, and he's not the only one in the movie who's like a great fucking character actor. This is character actors, the movie.
Yeah.
Like
Ron
it
Perlman's here.
really,
Michael
yeah.
Wincott's here.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Dourif, of
Winona
course.
Ryder, of course. Brad Dourif.
There's more people.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of people in here that I couldn't tell you, like, offhand,
The
everybody.
guy from Amelie who's in
Oh,
everything that this
yeah.
director
Dominique
does.
Pinon. I butchered that man's name. Oh, what? Tom Woodruff Jr.? Another character actor? I mean, it's really good, like, scene chewing character actors. It's good stuff.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons I liked it even when it first came out. And I remember, I think I saw it on like VHS the first time. I never got to see it in theaters.
Damn.
But I didn't think it was like the best movie in the franchise at the time.
Mm-mm.
And I obviously still don't. But
I think it's actually still one of the worst.
while
It
I
doesn't
didn't
mean it's
know
bad,
if
though.
while I didn't know if it really belonged with all the other movies before, now I feel like absolutely it has its
Well,
place in
we
the
watched the
franchise.
special edition, the extended cut,
Yeah.
which is not the theatrical edition. So there's a bunch of additional stuff. This is the version we're talking about specifically. To be clear.
Yeah. So yes, um, very good movie. I think at this point I'd give it either a 7 or potentially an 8.
I gave it a
7 and
7.
a half, 7.5 maybe.
I don't do half stars. I gave it a 7 though. I don't do a half
Right.
star on my 10 scale. I do half stars on my 5 scale. Because 5 is just not flexible enough for movies.
And it's not flexible. No, I'm just kidding.
7-year itch.
7-year itch.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I love Billy Wilder. I don't know what it is. Every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And in particular, just this is one of the best movies that ever written, kind of thing, because he's such an amazing screenwriter. Holy shit!
We've seen 3 of his Marilyn Monroe's movies. That's actually interesting. Sorry.
The thing about the way he writes is that it's very, I want to say, true to life. It sounds like
feels
things
real.
that people would say, you know?
I don't know if it's actually true to life,
He
but it
writes
feels
like
real.
people actually speak, you know? And that being said, he also writes from the perspective of somebody living in the time that he lived in. So, like, there's some fairly cringy takes.
I don't consider
on certain
AVP
things.
or Requiem part of the series, by the way. That's its own thing.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really watched those movies, but
Well,
I should at some point. But
we could revisit them. I like Requiem. Sean doesn't like it because babies get killed in it.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
enough.
7-Year Itch is, I wouldn't say it's the best Billy Wilder movie I've ever seen, but it's a good one. I like Some Like It Hot better. But this one is very good as well. This one felt to me
Oh yeah,
like
Hot,
it
yeah.
could
That's
be
really good.
that it could be easily remade in modern times and done justice.
Oh yeah. Oh, we were talking
You know?
about how if we would cast Margot Robbie and
Yeah.
you know,
Instead
and
of
Marilyn Monroe character.
instead of Marilyn Monroe, Margot Robbie. Instead of, I can't remember his name, but the main character. Instead of him, you'd have either Jim Carrey, because this guy has his facial features very Jim Carrey, like when he is really putting it on. So
I
to
don't
speak.
really like that idea, but
Or what? Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Carell.
Steve Carell, who we talked about.
Yeah.
He's a little bit older than the girl. This is my 5th
So, like,
Billy
it-
Wilder
it-
film, and I've seen all of them except for one with you. I think. Seen Sunset Boulevard, 7-Year Itch, Some Like It Hot, The Apartment. I think I saw Double Indemnity without you, separate.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've seen that one in so many damn times at this
I've
point.
seen like 2 or
It's
3
like,
times now.
it's possible that I saw it with you. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think it's the first time I saw it though.
No, 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 no. It wasn't even the first time I saw it.
First time I saw it was like in film class.
Same.
But anyways,
So yeah, something like it's hot
this is a
is. I'm sorry, 7 years. Yeah, sorry. About this guy who been married for 7 years, and sends his wife off, his family off on vacation, which I guess is a thing you did back then. So dudes could be single.
I can't decide if that's something the movie just made up to, yeah, to tell a funny story because
Right.
it's comedy, or if it's something that is something people actually did back then. But like, it doesn't strike me in modern times as something that you would do,
I mean,
even
but this wasn't modern time
even
either.
in like a family world. Like, why would you just go send the rest of your family off without you?
But I mean, it's 55 years
What?
ago.
Yeah.
So, completely different world. I can't even imagine what living in the 50s was like. You know?
Well, it wasn't Leave It to Beaverland.
Well, I mean, my life would have been fucking horrible back then, but so I'm glad I'm living now instead of then. But still, this movie, yeah. So it's about this guy who sends his family off on vacation, and he wants to try out the bachelor life again because it's been 7 years, and there was a study once a long time ago that wasn't proven with any kind of veracity that like at 7 years love kind of fades. It's like the maximum amount of love a relationship can last for. And so a lot of divorces happen at the 7 year mark. I mean, that's a true fact. A lot of divorces happen at the 7 year mark. So that's kind of what it's based on. And so he wants to do this, and he finds out his Marilyn Monroe's upstairs neighbor, not actually Marilyn Monroe, she's playing a character, but like and they start flirting, and there's kind of like some emotional jostling happening. It's a pretty fucking funny movie. I give it 8 out of 10. Like, I really did like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's a good movie, as with most Billy Wilder movies. I can't say all because I haven't seen them all yet, but that's why I keep buying more so I can watch
In
them.
there, eventually we'll see them all.
Mm-hmm. All I can say for now, for sure, is that having seen several of his films and loved every single one of them, I think this guy's a master of cinema. He's one of the greats.
All right, so The Friends of Eddie Coyle. Now, I had to note to the audience, the only reason I have even recorded this movie on my DVR was because of the title. I knew it had like a Criterion or a Indicator or no, it's a Eureka release in the UK. I knew it had like a high-end Blu-ray release somewhere, but like I haven't.
I wonder if the Indicator. You've seen the Indicator release, right? Does it have more special features on it? Because this one really has
it's
very
Eureka.
little.
It's Eureka, and no,
Eureka. Okay.
It didn't look like there was too many. Is there a commentary on that?
Yeah, there is from 2009 featuring director Peter Yates.
Oh, see,
so,
that's the important special feature.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a stills gallery, and then the booklet with the essay, which is nice.
I got a Criterion recently.
If you're talking about on-disc special features, it's the audio commentary and a stills gallery. That's it. That's like the least feature-laden Criterion.
I know, right?
Ever.
So I got this Criterion during the sale. Pierre Lefaux. I haven't seen
that one is weird.
I haven't seen it since college, so it's been 15 years.
I just remember watching that in college and thinking, well, that weird. Was a strange experience.
Well, yes. All of the French New Wave films kind of have this weird thing about them, an air about them.
They reject the real, if you will.
Yeah, it's basically really turn on the fact that movies don't owe you realism.
They provide commentary on the real, and then at the same time reject it. You know.
Yes.
It's interesting. It's
I
hard
seen
to
enough
really
films in the genre
get into It's a movement.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. It's a movement.
I made that mistake earlier, so it's
So is
funny.
Noir and so is Giallo, and I'll fight him when he says otherwise. Because if you make a
But
Giallo
yes,
now, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. Even the editor, which was a
Neo
great,
Giallo.
yeah, that's right. Neo Noir, Neo Giallo, exactly.
Yeah.
Neo New Wave French,
That's
Neo
why we
French
add
New Wave.
Neo to things, because it's like this was inspired by,
Yeah,
like
I mean, it clearly has all the features of this thing, but it was not made during the time that this was
yeah,
popular, and does not look exactly. And this, it's not. It doesn't. You couldn't sit next to it and go, "That's the same." That would
yeah.
fit. It doesn't. That's why it's Neo. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's a fun. The genre's a weird thing. So like, sorry, I've been doing this a lot lately. One-sided conversation
Okay.
thing. Like, I lost my thought. But my point is, like, I keep doing this one-sided conversation thing. I'm sorry. We gotta
I do it too. It's fine. It's okay. Friends of Eddie Coyle. We're talking about Friends of Eddie Coyle, but we gotta
Yes.
talk
Okay.
about
Friends of Eddie Coyle is about an aging hoodlum played by Robert Mitchum, who is the most ugly yet still fucking somehow attractive bastard I've ever seen in my entire life. The man, at this point in his age, looks like the bottom of someone's shoe, and I love every
Not a
minute.
lie.
I love every moment of him on the screen. He is such a good actor, and it is an eternal loss to film that he only directed one fucking movie. An eternal loss. Oh, is it? No, it's not Robert Mitchum. That's fuck.
You think you're confusing that with Charles Lawton
Charles
because he
Lawton.
was
Excuse me.
in
You're right.
that one Charles Lawton movie.
Yes, he's in. Sorry, I confused him. It's a criminal. It's a criminal. That's sorry. He's in Night Hunter, and that's criminal. That movie. The director never got to do anything else. So he's an
It is.
aging criminal about to go back to prison. So he's making a deal with the feds or the cop to like so apply because he's like to supply some sources for guns and stuff. And then like as you would expect in a crime movie, nothing goes to plan. Nobody's happy at the end. It's a very good fucking movie. Oh my god, 9 out of 10 on this bad boy. I will be
Yeah.
buying the shit out of this Eureka release because he has the Criterion release, and when we live in the same house, we both have both releases in the house. So, well, all the special
You know,
features available.
it's kind of fitting that you mentioned Pierre Le Fou, which is French New Wave,
Yep.
because the American response to the New Wave, more or less, was New Hollywood. And this is a New Hollywood movie.
Oh, is it?
It's
Is it? I
yeah,
thought it. Isn't Peter Yates a British director? Is it still New Hollywood then? Was it
yes,
made
it's
in
still New
Hollywood?
I literally saw this movie in my New Hollywood class.
Okay. I mean, I
It's
believe
New
you,
Hollywood.
but like, I was just like, is it
But
even made in
it came
America?
out. It
It
came out in the
is.
'70s.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
British movie. Shit. Okay. I stand corrected. Fuck.
came out in the '70s. It stars a couple of people who are well known for doing these types of movies at the time, and it
Yeah.
definitely has the feel of the
Peter
one of
fucking
those
Boyle's in
early
this.
'70s crime dramas, and it is quite excellent. It's like if you are one of those people who profess how much you love The Godfather, but you've never seen the movies around it that like
It's
influenced
like
it and were part of that same movement, so to speak, of crime films during the time, then this is one you definitely need to check out. You got to see this. You got to see Mean
I
Streets. You
feel
got to
like
see French, the French Connection. There are a bunch you got to see.
I feel like this is like an anti-buddy cop movie almost. It's like the
Uh,
antithesis of.
I because well, but there's really no buddy cop stuff happening.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
just
opposite
somebody.
side. It's the antithesis. It's the
Yeah,
other side of the coin. It's like buddy criminal
yeah.
movie almost. Anyway, I don't know. I think I really like. I would highly suggest this movie to anybody who likes like great fucking cinema. Like cinema that's gonna be like wow. I would say if you had to pair this with a movie, I would say Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia would be a perfect pairing for this movie.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah,
Like I would say watch it after Friends of Eddie Coyle.
personally, I would say watch French Connection
That's
and
also a
this.
really good choice.
Yeah,
There's no you can't go
there.
wrong with either of those. And if you want to do a triple bill, that's even better. That's a great triple
And if you
bill.
want to do quadruple bill,
Oh boy.
add in Thief later.
Oh my
see
God, Thief is so
where
good.
that leads to. You know,
I mean,
because
Thief
Thief is very
owes
much inspired by movies like
it. A
these.
thief owes everything to this movie. We talked about it. Like it talked
Yeah.
like there's like so many parts of this that are clearly in Thief. Also, like Michael Mann loved this movie. I'm pretty sure loves. He's still alive.
It would not surprise me if he did. Yes, it's an
So,
excellent movie.
oh, it's very good. Like I said, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I don't give that rating out easily. Next, this this crime nonfiction story, Tread from 2019. True crime is, of course, true crime is just crime nonfiction. So you have crime fiction, crime nonfiction. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just you said trime, and I was like,
Oh,
trime,
That was a typo in my brain.
true crime, trime.
Yeah. Okay, so this is directed by Paul Soleil, who also had a segment in Tales of Halloween. He also did the movie Grace, which I haven't seen, but I own. So, but this is a documentary about this guy named,
Competently directed documentary. Yeah.
what was it got? Marvin Hayemeyer, is that his name? I think that's the name of
I
the
can't
guy.
remember the guy's
Anyway,
name.
this guy who had a disagreement with an entire town of people who definitely were conspiring against him. I'm just going on a briefness here, just to kind of explain what it is. And so, like, through reenactments and footage from like news sources and interviews with some of the people, both audio and uh, video interviews, and the tape left by the guy himself. He left 3 or 4 tapes of recorded audio chatter of him talking about what happened, like what led up to this whole situation, where he takes a bulldozer and he armors the shit out of it and fucking rolls through every enemy's house and business place and like just fucks up as much shit as he can with the people who harmed him. And he believes his harmed him. I mean, who really knows, right?
Yes.
I mean, the survivors are the ones who got to tell the story, the history of what happened. So, and while he said his little piece, we don't know what is or is not true. And so, like, through part of this movie, I was going like, damn, you know, like, I don't think I'm any better than this guy. I'm pretty sure if I had a whole town conspiring against me, I too would be fucking paranoid and probably want to build something to run over their houses with. Okay? Not that I condone such a thing, mind you.
I would say this guy verges on being an anti-hero. And I
Virgin,
say
not quite there because he's not.
yes. I think what puts him over the edge of not being one
It's a
is
little
the fact
crazy.
that he sets up his tank, which is really what it ends up
And
being, is
it's
a
a tank.
fucking
He
tank.
takes a 50
Uh,
cal like 50 cal sniper rifle and it sticks out the back
yeah,
like a tank and shoots
he
people
puts
with it.
all these
Shoots things
fucking
with it.
guns on the tank and he starts shooting at people with it. And it's like, okay, you can't be an anti-hero if you're actually trying to kill people.
Nobody died
It's
though.
fine. It's fine if you are just trying to destroy their businesses because fuck them.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck.
okay,
Fuck it.
the businesses can be fucking rebuilt. Lives cannot be brought back. Well, they can, but like
That usually.
you don't have a right to try to take them, you know. So, um, I mean, you don't necessarily have a right to take somebody's business either, but
But they also didn't have a
it
right
can
to
be
fuck
brought
him over
back.
like they did. They fucked him
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
This
So
documentary
like,
showed he outbid this one guy for a property, and this guy went on a vendetta to fuck him over every way he can because he was on some legal fucking council of the city. And then, of course, because this guy's being forced into a corner, what does he do when he gets forced into a corner? You get violent. That's what he did. Do I agree with it? No, but that's what he did, and I can't say him any fucking better. You know?
well, the thing is, this guy clearly had some issues. It's really important to note he was a veteran, and I can't remember if they confirmed if he had
He said
PTSD
he
or not.
talks about it. His
Okay,
PTSD is
he
really
does
bad,
have
and sometimes
PTSD.
he talks about how like he's in control of it most of the time, but it gets
So,
all that sort of stuff.
the thing about PTSD is sometimes you just snap. And you're back in the
Absolutely.
war and you're fighting against the enemy, and that's all it is. So anybody who is in the vicinity could be your enemy once you've snapped. It doesn't matter if they actually are your enemy.
I mean,
You can't tell anymore. You have snapped. You're back at
you
war.
do not have. Yeah, you can't. You're not
Yeah.
like your reality's warped by things that have happened to you in the past.
There's this famous video. It's like something they show to cops uh, every time they're about to become like a traffic cop. It's a video they show. It's one of the first examples of like a recorded traffic stop, right? From like the late 80s, early 90s or something, back when they first started doing this shit.
Right.
And a cop is recording the traffic stop, and the person he stops is somebody who is a veteran who is 100% disabled. Like,
Sorry.
really important to understand how very difficult it is to get 100% disability from the VA.
Very
It's
hard.
very difficult.
Very, very,
So
very hard.
this guy got 100% disability. That means he is fucked in the head.
He's not.
He had
Yeah.
PTSD very, very, very badly. So, this guy gets pulled over because he was speeding, and he's clearly not happy about it. But he's at the time, you can tell he's in his right mind. You can see it in the video. He's upset about it, and he's like, "I'm not going to take this shit." Blah 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 blah. But he's in his right mind, and then there's a moment where you can tell snaps. He's back in Vietnam.
Oh, it's a survival.
The cop is his
It may not be
enemy.
Vietnam, but it was. You go into survival mode, and
Well, in this case, it
whoever
was
is
Vietnam
causing
for
you,
him, but yes.
yes, but whoever's causing you like distress is now the enemy or the source of that,
Yes.
and so it's.
You can see him like start moving around, ducking and dodging, like he's like in the jungle or something. Like this guy is no longer there. He's no longer there. You got to understand how that shit works.
Yeah.
So like when
I do.
when you see this happen to the guy in this documentary in Tread, it's like that's what I think of is in terms of PTSD. Is like this guy just snapped one day and he was no longer with the rest of us. You know, he was no longer on the same level of reality. But uh, I also feel like while that's true, he also did spend a lot of time making this tank, right? So he knew what he was going to do before he did it.
Like I said, he's a person who was pushed too far. He's pushed into a corner. He didn't like it, and so he fought his way out. Like, I don't agree with him, but I could totally see myself in that same dire situation that he was in, where they're literally going to take his property because he can't connect it to electrical, and they've made it impossibly expensive for him to do. And then, when he finally gets the money, they make it impossible for him to do because his rival takes the property between, and he refuses to let them connect it, so he loses property because of this nonsense. I can understand that. I totally get where he's coming from. Do I agree with it? Do I think it's okay? No, but
because the thing is, like, as much as the documentary actually does sit down with the people who were like the targets. I don't even say, well, I guess you could say victims, but
some of them. That main guy refused to be talked.
But okay, but like he is, they sit down with these people. Well, a lot of the people that were targets, right? And they're talking to them, and these people are up and down are just like, well, I don't know why he had a problem with us. Well, we didn't do anything. You know, most of the time throughout the whole fucking documentary, that's the way they're acting. But there are a few moments where some of these motherfuckers drop the guys. Just very small moments where it's like, oh, so you're saying you have to earn your place in this community?
Yeah,
which is
you got to earn your place in this
exactly
community.
what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's because they say like, well, this guy that we know, he's a great guy. He's really earned his place in this community. It's like, so you're saying that you have to earn your place in this community,
right?
Which is exactly what the guy who did this was complaining
about.
I
hate small town
like,
America.
You know, there's this insidiousness to the way they do business in this small town. And he's not wrong about that.
Look,
and the way he was treated was fucked up. But of course, that doesn't mean he gets to do what he did, you know. But
the reality is, the reason why so many movies and other kind of fiction depicts small town as this insidious underbelly is because guess what? 90% of the people who live in the fucking small towns are racist pricks. I swear to fuck. There's so many of them. And they're like, I'm not racist. I got a black friend that you fucking insult half the fucking time you introduce them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like it's not an excuse to be racist. You definitely shouldn't be using the N-word. Like,
Yeah.
but like that whole buddy, you're part of the group. That's small towns. Nobody moves to a small town is accepted. Their kids are accepted when they're born there.
It's much the same in certain religions, I will
It's
say.
very much
I think they
founded in
learn
that
it
too.
from religion, honestly,
Yep.
because, a lot of those small towns, they have, like, a specific
Very
sect
religious.
of Christianity that they are
Mm-hmm.
tied to. And in some cases, that small town sect of Christianity could be Mormon Christianity. It could be uh, Calvinist. It could be Methodist. But there are a lot of Methodist ones.
God damn,
Put it
yeah.
that. But it doesn't mean it just has to be one specific religion. It's just that in many cases, religions breed that kind of activity, that kind of behavior, that activity,
Yeah.
behavior of like keeping other people out.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping, really.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, Tread's a very good documentary. I would say it doesn't choose sides. It just lets everyone talk. It lets the
Yes.
fucking dudes who did it hang themselves with their words. And it lets the
And I
man
wanna
speak for
say-
himself. I mean,
Yeah.
I think actually what it is, I think they didn't have the rights to, so they like had someone read a transcript of his tapes. But same thing, you hear his
Are
words
you sure? Because I think it's his recording of his.
in the cast
Word.
list. He's not listed at all, but someone who plays him is listed. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, yeah, that would explain that. But I want to say, like, in his rambling, like, basically suicide note.
That's what it was.
What it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He basically blames everybody else for all of his problems. And while that he might have a point in some cases for that, it's like he also gives the same excuse that anybody who tries to commit like a mass murder or mass crime like that gives, which is, I gave you all the signs that this is what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You should have known better that this is what was going to
Oh,
happen.
he believes God was allowing it because someone would have stopped him.
Yeah, well, that's where
his delusion part.
Comes
Yeah,
from, the delusion.
that's the part where I can't stand with him on that. Like no, what? No,
That
that's not how that works.
By PTSD. But,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
a lot of them.
As can the advanced paranoia that he was experiencing there.
He definitely had a lot of paranoia. Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel for him, but at the same time, it's also like somebody trying to make excuses for their own problems rather than actually dealing with
Saying,
them.
I did this because these people set me off. And then
A normal individual is going to say, like, I don't want to let this small town beat me, but fuck them. Who needs them anyways? Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Right.
That's what a normal person, a well-balanced individual is going
or
to do.
they just burn down their enemies' work businesses and just be done with it.
That would not be normal. But
I don't know, man.
If nobody got hurt or killed, maybe, and he specifically intended that nobody got hurt or killed, again, he could probably be an anti-hero in that case. But
yeah, he's not though.
just
He's
not
definitely
quite
delusional.
there. Yeah.
I'm paranoid. So anyway, that was Tread. That was a really good documentary. I would say that was an 8 out of 10. It was really enjoyable watch. What's next? Wow, I think we're there finally.
Are we there?
Yeah.
We're there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Street, 1994.
Fear Street! When I first heard that they were going to do a movie series based on the Fear Street franchise, the first thought I had was, shit, I never read any of those books.
Me neither.
I only read the Goosebumps books, but I assumed that they were kind of like that. I had been told even as a kid that they were a little bit more violent or more.
Yes. I think they were for teens or something. Or
yeah,
something like that, right?
I think they were for older kids.
Yeah, teenage horror fiction. Started in '89. So like.
But like.
Yeah.
Getting into that, my thoughts on it was like, oh God, I hope this isn't like Goosebumps. Oh God, I hope this isn't like what was the other one that they did
I like
recently?
Goosebumps.
Scariest Stories to Tell in the Dark, I think is
I
the
need
one
to
they
see that
did.
one still.
I do too, but I've heard like it wasn't very good.
Oh, come on. How
And
many times have you heard that and going
of
like, this is excellent?
course,
So, I mean,
of course, but like there were a lot of people who weren't into that one, and then the Goosebumps one. Well, why I didn't
I liked the
necessarily.
first one a lot.
I didn't have a problem with those Goosebumps movies. Um,
I
they
had the second one, but I haven't seen
definitely
it yet.
they were approaching it from a different kind of perspective, not perspective, but they were trying to do something different with it, not retell the
They're trying
stories
something
of the
interesting.
books,
Yeah.
or not, yeah. There, it was from like the outside in. The
Like,
Goosebumps world exists within the movies,
right.
whereas in the Fear Street movies, it's not a thing. It's just
It's just
they're
like a
telling
story
their
from
own
a book,
story.
basically. It's like 3-book
Yeah,
series. Not really, but it's like that. Like as if it was like 3 different books that tied together. So
yeah.
that's how they're kind of
So
presented.
I wasn't expecting that. Two, um, I was worried at the time that it was going to maybe not be as good because they hadn't really perfected the movies based on these, you know, adolescent horror novels that were popular
Goosebumps
when
is
I was a
great. I don't know what
kid.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Um, or at least not like for modern horror fans, right? They were family friendly fair affairs, whereas this movie series is not necessarily
Oh
like,
no, there's a lot of gore in this. Heads up, right
yeah.
out the bat. We'll just tell you.
My
I
family would love it.
I was actually genuinely shocked by how violent it was.
But like
Because
my
once
niece
again, I
loves
thought it
Jason,
was just like
so
another Goosebumps, and I just did not
yeah.
know it was for teens and a little bit more. This is definitely this is R-rated for sure if it was in theaters, 100%.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it takes the genre tropes from like the kind of apes scream with one character and Sackhead Jason with another, and
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like it's like got all these different things going on with it. There's also that killer with the fucking baby doll face that you always see.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hate that one. But
There
yeah,
were a lot of urban legends basically represented
and
in
there was
this film.
fair amount of sex
I
in it.
wonder I wonder though, like, because I don't know anything about the Fear Street novels, if those characters are all characters from the Fear Street novels, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't know. But
Someone
this
will
movie
tell us
as a
probably in the
movie,
comments.
this movie as a movie is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it hits all the right beats at all the right times. I'm gonna butcher this lady's name. Leigh Janiak. Janiak? Janiak? I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. She is very good. She directed. We watched. We've seen Honeymoon from her prior, 2015 or so. 2014.
And I have no
I think it was
recollection of this
Project
movie.
Flicks. Actually, it was in 2014.
Yeah.
And so we've seen all her movies now because it's these 3 in Honeymoon.
Because for some reason, it's still so fucking difficult for women to get hired as directors in Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
or outside of Hollywood. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for fuck's sake.
Yep.
And well, part of the problem, to be fair, there are a lot of female directors out there who want to direct who are not given the chance to direct. But it's also true that not a lot of women even try to become directors, mostly because they know they probably won't be given the opportunity. So-
Yeah, they're never given the opportunities.
Because they're not. It's like almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well,
kind of
it's
thing.
like when it's like when they're like, oh, well, we don't find that LGBT stuff is marketable because you never market it, so it's never marketable unless you fucking market it. It's a cycle. You have to make a fucking demand for your product. That's literally
Make a
the number
decision.
one.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing of fucking marketing is make a demand for your product. If you can't make a demand for this, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's Hollywood for you.
I know.
They have always
The boys' club.
been like that, where they
No,
It's not
we're
just boys club,
we're
but they've
getting.
always been like, we want to do the most basic ass like shit that's already been done before. We don't want to try anything new, kind of thing,
Mhm.
you know. And the only time they ever did try anything new was like, okay, we'll give you some money to try whatever the fuck you want to do. It's always pushing the responsibility off onto somebody else. It's never from within that change happens.
Oh, and
You
my
know?
favorite part about this is these three movies are very, very gay, very
Yes.
lesbian centric, and I fucking loved it.
Oh yeah, I loved it because
Oh,
it's a breath of fresh air
fuck yes.
for
My gay heart was
this kind of film in
soaring.
general,
Oh,
and for horror films too. I mean, horror films have been some of the best to,
they've
some of the
always
best
been.
and the worst to touch on this.
Yes,
Kind of
exactly.
subject,
They're the
you know?
best and worst stuck on all of society's
Yeah.
things. I mean, there's Skinner, but then there's people under the stairs. Both movies are trying to say the same thing. One's successful, one's racist.
Yeah. One is just really uncomfortably racist, and
Yes.
you think to yourself, "Shit, I paid money for this.
I
Ew.
know. I can't believe I paid money
Oh,
for it.
I'm
Oh
dirty. I
no.
can't wash the dirt off.
I,
Keep off."
I feel so weird. Like I don't want. It's like one of those movies. Like I literally took it off my shelf and I put
I
it on a
wonder
side shelf so no one could see that I owned it. And it's like one
I
of the few
wonder
movies I'm
how
embarrassed I
Raimi
own.
feels about it. Like,
How who?
if you were to ask him, Raimi, I wonder how he feels about it. Like,
Oh,
if
Ted
you were to
Raimi.
ask him today, yeah, if
I don't know. I think at one
what
point he
he
said it
would
was his
say.
favorite movie, his favorite
Oh
role.
no,
At one point, but it was like the
no,
'90s. Like come
no!
on.
It was the '90s.
And
It
he was
wasn't
probably,
okay then
I guarantee
either.
you, he was probably because he was promoting the movie at the time.
Oh
Okay,
God.
it doesn't sound like something he would say like out of hate or spite or anything. Okay, this is me here. But no, yeah, it's that movie's uncomfortable as fuck. Anyway, Fear Street, 1994.
Yeah.
Wow, I really liked this one. Was very shocked by the gore because, like I said, I wasn't the fan of the books. By the time the books kind of came around, I was already watching horror movies, and I was a stuck-up brat thinking, why would I read about this stuff when baby's books when I can just fucking watch the horror movies? It's a dumb teenager, 13-year-old idiot.
Yeah, I was a few years younger, so it was different for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you would be the target demographic by the time
I can tell you.
by the time you hit teenage years. The second Fear Street series, they had so much demand, they made a second spin-off series of books.
And I still never read them.
I know, but you were the perfect time that you.
Yes.
It landed right as you started high school. Like it was like it'd be the perfect time. Anyway.
What I would say is, I vividly remember in grade school, K through 6, I think in like the third, fourth, and fifth grade, I want to say. More like fourth and fifth grade, really. But there would be times when, like, maybe you finish a test or a quiz or whatever that you were doing early and everybody else was still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be quiet. So what the teacher would do after you handed it in your quiz or your test, they'd be like, okay, pick a book off the shelf.
Yeah.
And the shelf was literally filled to the brim with nothing but Goosebumps books. I shit you not.
Nice.
Just Goosebumps, Goosebumps, Goosebumps. That's how prolific
There was
Goosebumps was at the time.
like, look, I went to a sale. Like at the Friends of the Library bookstore where you can buy like a book 50 cents on stuff.
Yes.
That section's glut. It's a glut of these books, right? So they go to the end of year sale, and they're literally selling for $0.25 a piece. And I bought the whole fucking box, and I made a tidy profit selling them on eBay. But
Yeah.
I only have one left. I actually found I only have one Goosebumps book, and I found it at the VFW here. By the way,
Nice.
VFW also an awesome movie. Anyway.
So I loved Goosebumps, the books, but I hated the fucking series based on it. I was
Never into the series.
the Are You Afraid of the Dark snob who's like,
Me too.
Are You Afraid of the Dark is better than Goosebumps? I'm sorry.
Are You Afraid of the Dark
Facts.
started before Goosebumps too. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure. So like
Yes, it did. I think
Are You
it
Afraid of the
started in
Dark?
Canada, actually.
It did. Are You Afraid of the
Yeah.
Dark started at the right time, perfect time for me to start watching horror, So like that's the thing. It's kind of
And it is actually pretty creepy.
And I hear
shit.
that the Goosebumps show is actually pretty fucking good. I just haven't seen any of it.
There are some episodes that are okay.
I want to see
Like
the Night of the Living Dummy ones because I hear
I
those are really
felt
good.
like at the time watching it that like a lot of the episodes, at least the ones I was seeing, were really weak, really not even remotely
I
scary.
still remember the headless.
Terrible takes on the books themselves. Like,
I
eh,
remember the Headless
didn't like
Horseman
it.
episode of season 1 of fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like
Yes,
I vividly remember that run across that bridge, and I was
I
like,
love the one where the kid gets caught in like the pinball game or whatever the fuck.
oh god. There's also another season 1 when I remember very vividly was the clown in the closet. That was
Yes,
so
yes,
cheesy,
yes.
so dumb. I laughed so hard as a kid when I saw that just because it was
The
so.
ghost in the theater. I can't remember what that one
I've
is,
never
but
seen
that
that
one
episode.
is well. That one was really, I would say influential for me. They actually show scenes from Nosferatu in that movie,
That's
and if I
cool.
recall correctly, like one of the characters from Nosferatu like comes out of the screen, a la Last Action Hero, and like
Very nice.
starts chasing down the
I would like to
kid or
see
whatever.
all that. I'd like to see the Goosebumps series. Honestly, I would like to see it from my own eyes. It's one of those
Yeah,
things. Like here's one of the things I want to do one of these days is get all those anthology shows, all of them. Amazing Stories, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits,
yeah.
all of them. Misfits of Science, Monsters, all of them. Rip all the discs to a hard drive, put them all in a folder, and randomize them, and just watch from one end to the other. You'll just get
That'd be
what,
perfect.
right?
Yes.
Because it's all anthology stuff. So, anyway, I have to
Beyond
pee.
Belief got to put that in there too.
Yes, I have to pee, so go talk about actual Fear Street, the trilogy, instead of us babbling about other shit that's not related.
Okay. Fear Street, the movies. I would say if I had one really strong criticism for the movies, it's this criticism that you probably have already heard. But well, it's probably similar to what you've already heard. The criticism is about the music. I don't think I swear I heard somebody complaining that like they played a 90s song in the 1600s uh movie, but like we watched that movie and I don't remember that happening at all, so I don't know what they're fucking talking about. My main criticism regarding the music, it's not even that like okay, some of this music was written after 1994, like whatever, shut the fuck up. My main criticism of the music is that it comes too quickly, that they don't even give it a chance to fucking breathe. They're so heavy on like getting the nostalgia hit in for people who grew up in the 90s that they play like 5 seconds of a fucking 90s song and then immediately after another 5 seconds of a 90s song, immediately after another 5 seconds of a 90s song, just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. They don't give you a chance to breathe at all with this fucking music. And it's a minor gripe, quite frankly, a very minor gripe. I know I sound like a but like it doesn't really affect the movie that much. It's just a minor gripe. Like maybe they could have spaced the music out a little bit better. Maybe they didn't need to use as much music as they did to get the 90s nostalgia factor going. But it's a minor gripe that I had with it. The movies themselves, the subjects of the movies, the story itself was fucking fantastic, and I liked most of the actors. I think I liked some of the actors even more than Skinslip did. Um, and like, because I remember she was criticizing one of them, and I was thinking to myself, I actually kind of like that kid. um, I also like that it's not something that's very predictable. It's actually fairly difficult to figure out what's going to happen next in this series. You don't know where they're going with it. It's based on a lot of tropes, based on a lot of popular urban legends, but at the same time, you don't know what's going to
I
happen
mean,
next. It's a fairly original
I,
story.
I mean, like there's an homage to the Ghostface killer in Scream. Like it literally down to the kill you see him do is just like a pantomime of the opening of Scream, which is great. I fucking thought it was great homage. My favorite is probably Tommy Slater, the fucking sackhead guy, the Camp Nightwing killer. If there's an action figure of that dude in the future, I'm buying that shit. That guy is nasty. I love him. I love Sackhead Jason. It's my favorite Jason because he's the most menacing. He runs around, and I noted because during the Camp Nightwing segment, he doesn't have the sack at the beginning. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, no sack. Interesting. When that's gonna happen? Because the way his whole body movement, the way he's moving is like Sackhead Jason. Like the way he like runs with authority, the way he like power stride. You know what I mean? Like the way he's walking itself is an homage, and yeah, I fucking love that. No, I think number 2 is my favorite part because of that guy, because he's all up in that shit.
I honestly can't pull them apart. I think they work so well as a trilogy that I wouldn't want to watch the movies again individually.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Only all 3 together.
And I'm sure there's some people who are like, let's watch them in chronological order. Nope, there's no chronological order because the movies jump around in time period. So,
that's just it might help to watch it in chronological order to keep track of everything.
Because you'll watch the end of the movie. The entire end of everything happens in the last movie, so you would be spoiling the other 2 movies by watching that. And you can't literally have to watch them in order, part 1, 2, and 3. They are one movie, you're right. It is like one long movie, and we probably should have watched it as one long movie, but, what you can do? Oh, hi, kitty.
Yeah, well, we watched the last 2 more or less.
We did.
In the same 24-hour span.
We actually watched them. We watched it. We watched another movie, and then watched the other part. Yeah. Like, if you are interested in, you the viewer, are you interested in doing all 3 at once? That would definitely enhance the viewing by a lot.
Another thing I like about this series is that it has a lot to say about Americana, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
And how flawed Americana is, and flawed the American wasteland we live in is, and has always been,
American Empire.
It's talking about the issues of like the early Pilgrims and how they treated people they deemed to be witches, which are basically just people who were a little bit fucking different, who didn't fit the social norms. So, you don't fit the social norms, we're going to burn you at the stake or hang you.
Look, here's the reality. Up until like the 50s, they were still lobotomizing like people with ADHD, dude. Like, because he wants to sit still. So, like, that's only 50 fucking years ago, 60 years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy what they can still get away with in the South, too.
But they're fucking allowing electrical shock of fucking autistic people, which is fucking disgusting.
That's what I like about this movie series. Is that true to horror, it's commenting on some of the worst aspects of our society.
It's also commentating about sexism and homophobia. All of it's like got little pieces here and there, and I am genuinely genuinely
gay living,
Well, yeah, I mean, like they're the heroes.
Yeah,
and it's and they're the main characters.
Well, when I say normalizing, I mean like it's just accepted by the characters.
Well, yeah, nobody questions it. Nobody in the universe questions it. It's just a thing. Yeah, that's called representation.
Exactly.
In case you're curious.
It's like, well, why does it matter if this is different from the norm that in this world, this is normal to the people in it, and that's the way it should be. It's like, I love that.
Once again, it doesn't have to affect real life. So if you don't think it's real, then it's not. It's just fake. Whatever. Live in your bubble, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever. Maybe to stop hurting people. That's all.
Continue living in your bubble and being like the idiots in the village in 1666.
Yeah. Man. I am just a little sad that that so much LGBTQ cinema is also about the horrors that befall us. You know,
It's
so
understandable
often.
that it would be though. Like,
Yes, but it's just like I would love a utopic look at it, maybe every now and then. Is all I'm saying. You know,
yeah,
I understand
a
it's part a
puzzle.
lot for a lot of people, especially the people who came before me. It was like that, and I'm so thankful for those people who came before me and made it so I can live in a squishy soft world and make stupid comments like, "Hey, I wish there wasn't so much gay trauma in these gay movies."
Yeah. Hopefully, in the future, there will be more movies that
Fucking love
aren't
you, man.
about
I mean,
trauma.
Blind Manor. You know what I mean? Same thing.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie so. That movie. It's a fucking 10-hour movie. I love it so much, and it makes me sob. It makes me cry harder than almost anything I've ever seen. That movie broke my heart. Took all the little pieces, set it on fire, peed on the ashes, and stomped on it for good measure. And I fucking love it for it. Such a good fucking movie. Show.
Yes. I can't wait. That's coming out on Blu-ray. I can't wait
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get that on Blu-ray.
I'm gonna be buying that.
Very good one.
I
I
need on
need to
that.
go back and watch the Haunting of Hill House on Blu-ray. I got that recently-ish, and it's like the only way to get it extended, the extended version. So I want to see the
Oh, the new
extended
thing?
version. And I also what?
New release, not the extended version.
What?
That new release with the double feature.
Oh, no, Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, it's that new release with had both series together. With
Oh, it does?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's got
I'm
both.
just,
There's probably a standalone too, but there's a double
I'm
feature with both of them.
talking about the one I already own that I have in my collection.
I don't know if
Which
it's the same
has the
bit.
extended version. It's probably this. I wouldn't imagine that they would
Well,
change the discs out if they're putting it out there.
release a standalone, the extended to standalones. You have to buy them twice, or buy them individually. I'd probably buy both of them. I love those movies, those shows so good, so much. Like, honestly.
But yeah, I still need to see the extended version. And on top of that, as we noted several times while watching Fear Street, although we really loved it, Netflix really loves to crush the blacks, and
Oh
we
yeah.
mean fucking destroy
We mean the color.
black.
We mean the color
The
on
color,
the on,
yes.
of like on the
Talking
screen,
about-
not the
We're
people.
talking about color theory.
You could
and
have been like taken completely out of context. So I had to like throw that real quick.
flip it and ship it, okay?
But
But
no,
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
it like the compression is awful on Netflix
Yeah, the
sometimes.
compression is terrible. No matter what you do, even if you have a really fucking good, stable, strong connection, because of the way
I pay for the
Netflix
HDR.
does things.
I
Yeah,
got 4K monitor, so I do the HDR, and it still came out like fucking 360p.
it's because it isn't the full high quality rip. It's like the file that you're watching is not big enough to present the movie as it should be seen.
Mhm.
And that's another reason I wanted. There are a lot of blacks. The color again. There's a lot of black and darkness and stuff like that in The Haunting of Hill House. So because of that, I wanted to get the Blu-ray so that I could actually, see in the dark.
Yes. I'd like to see it too.
Instead of seeing a bunch of macro blocks that look like darkness.
Maybe wait for me, and we'll do a rewatch, and so we can also just like look for the secret ghosts in every episode.
I was planning to watch it for Halloween, so if we can get it before then.
If it's out before then, yeah.
It's already out. What do you think?
The both of them though. I meant both of them.
No.
I'm gonna get the double feature, dude. I don't need to own either of them. Why would I wait?
I'm watching it for Halloween. I'm not waiting for you. For Haunting of Hill House, I mean. Ugh.
I'm going back to look for it. Oh, here it is. Haunting of Blind Manor is October 12th. And there's gonna be a
Okay.
double feature also, released at the same time of both of them. And I'm probably gonna get the double
God, I
feature.
don't want to know how much that's going to cost.
I don't know, but it's gonna be both on Blu-ray.
I got the Haunting of Hill House for like $25. It was a good deal.
Not bad for a TV
Anyway.
series.
Anyway, Fear Street. Any other thoughts on Fear Street?
Um, I like that even though it gave us all sorts of hints, but I never got to figure out exactly what was happening until the very end. Like I like that
Yeah.
there were enough twists and turns. It was a unique enough experience that like I thought it was going one place. It went a little bit different. I'm like, hey, I was so pleasantly surprised. So
Yes.
very multiple times in this movie, in all the whole trilogy.
I was talking about that earlier when you were gone. I was saying that it even though it plays on a bunch of the tropes of horror films and it features a bunch of characters from other horror films and from urban legends and stuff like that. Even though there are there's a bunch of imagery from other horror movies in it, it very much is its own thing. It's very much fairly original concept. There's no such thing as complete originality
Of course.
in film or any other, but it's a pretty original take on these stories, these concepts. So yeah, I really enjoyed that too, not knowing where it was going to go from one moment to the next.
Like, cause we've seen a lot of movies, and we've seen a lot of movies together. We've seen over 1,000 movies together. We both each seen like 5,000-6,000 movies easily in our life, easily, probably more. But so like you get to understand like the tropes, and we'll be like, oh, I hope this happens, and then it happens. We cheer. We're not mad that we guessed the movie. We cheer like, yeah it fucking happened. Because we love when
exactly.
because we know we want the movie to do this thing with it, and it does that thing. Perfect. And if it doesn't do that thing, I'm pleasantly surprised still because hey, this is pretty cool. Usually, you know. In this case, the homages are so good on the second episode in particular that this might be one of the best retro slasher films. Like, there's a lot of retro slasher films that like, are throwbacks. This is the first one that really, I think, really gets it. I don't know. There's something about it. I think it's one of the better retro slasher films that have come out in the last 15 years or so.
It's pretty good.
Trying to be 80s, 70s. There's a bit of sleepaway camp here, too. I thought it was kind of cool.
And the thing about it for me that makes it, like, impressive is that I wasn't expecting it to be necessarily this good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, oh, it's based on this book aimed at teenagers, aimed at younger people. So they're going to, water it down. They did not water it down.
No.
This is not at all watered down.
It holds back on the gore for most of the first episode. And the second episode, it goes full hog. There's so many head splatterings, so many axes to the face. Just, oh my god.
So much stabbing.
So many stabbings. Like, so many stabbings. There's a lot of blood in that.
And that's not to say there's not any gore in the first one.
No, of course not. There's some great gore in the first one.
Oh my goodness.
It's some of the best gore I've seen, actually, in a long-ass time. No. But the last 30 minutes is incredible. Just incredible fun. Like, I give Fear Street, as a whole, like, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
I think they were just incredible. I can't wait to own them. I will own them. It will happen.
Are they coming on Blu-ray?
They will eventually.
I hope they are.
They will eventually.
I want to be able to see in the dark, I don't want to see a bunch of macro block fucking...
We will definitely rewatch it when that happens. And we will also probably talk about it then, too, on another episode.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Just seems like something
we'll be able to tell you if it looks better on Blu-ray, which it will.
Oh, it definitely looks better. But like maybe we'll find some new things to talk about it, too. You never know. Uncover new subtext or whatever.
But like, this is why you can't just rely on streaming. This is why you can't just rely on digital copies of movies, because even if it says 4K, it's not going to look as good as if you buy a 4K disc and play it on a 4K player. It's just the reality of the situation, because they put a higher quality version of the movie on the disc than you will ever get. Yeah, than you will ever get on any streaming service.
And that's just a matter of fact, even with 4K.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the matter. Here's the thing: is 4K streaming will look slightly better than Blu-ray. That's as someone who has used it extensively the last year. We watched plenty of stuff that is HDR content. You know what looked really good? Space Sweepers. Have you ever seen that? I saw it with my friend Alex. It's on Netflix.
Hmm.
You should watch it, and we
Right.
should talk about it because it's another film that's just got really strong trans character in it that I fucking loved. I fucking loved that character so much. Don't want to spoil it because it's a nice reveal. It's a nice little moment. It's a cute moment. Normally, I don't like them acknowledging that kind of thing in the movie, but the way they did it just melted my heart. And I was like, oh, like immediate acceptance, like immediately, like without even questioning it. Nobody in that crew questions it. It's just, oh, and it's a Chinese film. So think about that. It's a pro-trans film made in China for Netflix.
Wow. Cool.
It's a very cool movie. It's got Space Sweepers has got a very strong Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Like you can tell, it feels like when you look at the poster, you watch the trailer, like, this is a knockoff. It's not. I mean, it is, but it's a very good version of that kind of dynamic with the characters. Like, it's not as good because that's James Gunn. He's another level director, I think. But like,
but then
Space
you ask
Sweepers.
yourself, would James Gunn ever touch on something, a subject like that? You know?
Absolutely.
You think
He's from trauma. He'll talk. He's not afraid to talk about anything. He was basically taught through the trauma system. Basically, he did Romeo and Juliet. It was his first movie. That's why Lake Kaufman's in all the movies and like as an extra, because
Yeah, I know. Well, like,
they're good friends. So like,
I don't know.
no, I mean I get it, but yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, he gets it. I think he'd get it. Would it be a little uncouth and maybe rub some people the wrong way? Probably, because that's it's a very James Gunn thing to do. But
Yes.
I don't think he'd get anything like majorly wrong necessarily. All right, so
I hope we get to see James Gunn do another horror movie at some point.
I just give him whatever movie, just whatever he wants to make. If he wants to make superhero movies, look. If he wants to make superhero movies, so the day he fucking dies, I would be okay with it. I'm not even kidding. Just do it.
Yeah, but
Be
I
happy.
still would like to see him do more.
There's any movies you want to talk about that you watched on your own?
I already talked about Bill and Ted. That was it.
So I've been on a kick watching. First I watched a movie called Wax Mask from 1996 by Sergio Stivoletti. I think that's his name, right? Sergio Stivoletti. Anyway,
Is that one? I remember the cover art for this.
It's a really terrible cover art. I hate the
yeah, but it's memorable at least.
It's just a guy. It's based on Gaston Leroux's wax some shit, and then it's actually really based on Mystery at the Wax Museum. But
okay.
But they covered it up by saying it's based on Gaston Leroux's like original. I'm saying that name's wrong, by the way. So yeah, I saw the Wax Museum, Wax Mask. Now I wouldn't say tired in a 6 out of 10, but good God, the effects that last 25 minutes are incredible. The effects are incredible, and there's even an homage to the Terminator with the fire when like emerges from the fire and stuff. There's an homage to that in this fucking movie. So good. It's like the last 30 minutes just make up this movie. The first 45 minutes are kind of, they're alright. There's nothing bad. There's a few kills here and there. There's a few little moments. It just picks up steam at the last half, though. Just barrels to the end. And good fun. I think there is a Joe Bob version, so we'll probably end up watching that at some point.
We need to watch the Joe Bob version of Little Shop of Horrors, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors in probably 15 years, so that'd be a good one for me. The other thing I want to talk about is I've been watching a lot of Elvis films, actually. I've actually watched 3 of them so far. So there's 4 more recording tonight. So between Turner Classic Movies and Fox FXM, which is TCM's competitor with Fox, they have put out like 20. They were showed like 20 Elvis movies. I've got most of them recorded right now. A couple more coming up. And I just got this kick. So
it must be Elvis month, and Marilyn Monroe month.
Yeah, that Marilyn Monroe's last month. Because I caught the last of that last half of that. I only got a couple of movies. I wish I'd gotten more because I really want to see more of her stuff. It's just a blind spot. Elvis was a blind spot. So I started with Love Me Tender, 1956. It was his first film. It's a Western. You would actually kind of like this. You'd probably really like this one.
I imagine I would. I liked Flaming Star.
It deals with like this these guys, these Confederate soldiers that robbed this train, but they don't realize the night before the war ended. So now they're criminals instead of instead of partaking in war, right? And so,
Well, they were Confederates, so they were
but
always.
but look, if the Confederates have won, they wouldn't. But the thing is, if the Confederates have won, they would not have been charged with war crimes because they didn't kill anybody. They just robbed money. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but because they're now criminals, they're outlaws. So Elvis is the younger brother of the leader of this gang, and so he starts out as like this really likable character. I'm gonna spoil a bit of this movie for you. Elvis starts out as a very likable character. Then he's got a level head. Then the girl like gets involved, and there's a love triangle because apparently his brother and Elvis's wife were lovers before he went to war, and Elvis's brother thought that his girl would be waiting for him. Turned out because apparently he was reported as dead, but he wasn't dead. It was a false report. So they moved on with each other. So there's a love trial going on, but at one point Elvis just like takes the girl and just starts smacking her around. I was like, oh well, that's you went from like I can understand where you're coming from to nope incel nonsense in about 3 seconds. I was like, so that movie went from like a 7 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 because the character just fucking careened out of control out of nowhere. He went from completely unlikable cad.
Well, maybe that was the point, though. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I didn't like enjoy the journey. Is my point.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 6 out of 10. Then I watched GI Blues, which is a movie from only 6 or 8 years later. But now Elvis has just gotten this is his first time out of after doing his stint in the military. So he's like plays this womanizer lady guy who like falls for this club performer lady, and it's not bad. I thought it was pretty good. It's very of the time, 1960, 1959 era, like America. Takes place in Germany though. Yeah, but they all have like a bet for him to like woo her, and so he takes the bet. He starts to woo her, and then he actually falls for her. So he then calls the bet off. But then the boys keep betting on it anyway, behind his back. And then he re-engages like with her, and then it's revealed that they bet it on, and there's the whole kerfluffle happens. 6 out of 10, not bad. Watch Blue Hawaii. Blue Hawaii is one I'm gonna buy on Blu-ray. Blue Hawaii was a lot of fun. It's got Elvis doing what song is that? The one that CB4 covered. What the fuck is that movie? I can't help falling in love. That song.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help. He's like serenading the girl he loves and her mother, or whatever.
And her mother.
Like he's like serenading like it's a, like I love this lady. I hope you understand. Like not like he's like being sexual with the mom. Just like serenading's not necessarily sexual, right? It's or romantic. It's not necessarily just singing for them, both. And he's looking back and forth. It's just very good. But every time he's like, I can't help falling in love, he looks at the girl. And then like Elvis was like, he's like the son of a plantation owner, a pineapple plantation. He wants nothing to do with it. Ended up getting his own job as a tour guide. Likes the job, gets a job being a tour guide for this lady and these 4 girls she's an escort for, 4 teenage girls. The lady seems to be falling in love with Elvis. One of the teenage girls is obsessed with Elvis. Keeps trying to fuck him, and he keeps trying to get the fuck away from her because he's already been in jail once because of her. Thrown in jail for the night because he got into a fight because of her. So, really solid movie though. I actually give like 7 out of 10. I'll probably show this to Justin at some point. You'll probably really like this one.
I probably will.
I'm gonna pick through them all and make him watch all the good ones. But I don't want all the Elvis movies. I don't think all his movies are good. I don't think anyone's movies, all of their movies are good. So
well, having seen a few of them now, what do you think of him as an actor? Do you think he was okay? Yeah?
Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was okay in Flaming Star. Did you get that one downloaded, or did they have that one?
That one's not playing anywhere.
Okay.
I'd record the shit out of it if it was.
It's pretty good.
Every time I open it up and I saw Elvis in the description or in the picture, I just immediately hit record. No questions. I don't need to know anything else about it. I'm on an Elvis kick. We'll check it out. I'll watch Flaming Star at some point. I'll make a point because I want to see all those movies eventually, so I can decide which ones are. I think I might just make a letterbox list just to make it a little easier to keep up with.
Oh yeah, good idea.
But yeah, I'm on an Elvis kick. We'll see what goes with that. Thank you everybody for joining us. We did a pretty good show tonight, and I feel like we covered Feeder Street fairly well. So
Yes, and we covered a lot of other subjects as well.
yes,
pretty good. Yeah,
I'll have to type up the whole post for this next. It's tomorrow. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us.
Let us know your thoughts about the movies we watched.
Please.
In the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell.
Literally do those things so you can, because on my channel on YouTube, you'll see all my archives go up. This show, Art and Tea, my trans girls talking nerdy, which is sometimes a talk show, sometimes gaming, sometimes where our mood is. Lately, it's been Overwatch. They all go up. I played Lord of the Rings on Monday. I almost played a game today. I almost threw on Animal Crossing, but then I realized I had a movie date with a friend. I'm like, shit. I've been watching. I'm on episode. I finished the first 6 episodes of WandaVision as an example. That's where I'm at with that. So probably, have you seen WandaVision?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you should. And we'll talk about it next week, maybe. It's only 9 episodes, 30 minutes, 38 minutes or so, with credits. So like 30 minutes. They're actually like 32-minute like sitcom episodes. It's really fucking good. It starts out, and I'm like, okay,
I'll watch it
alright.
at some point, yeah.
I was like, this is alright. This is okay. And then, like, by the 4th episode, I was hooked. There's a twist, and I'm like, oh. And it just keeps getting more interesting as it goes on. So, I'm interested in how it goes. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Bye, everybody.
Bye.